Hey, my friends, welcome to Science. And we are talking about our lungs. Another word is our respiratory system. And our respiratory system has everything to do with our breathing. Okay, everything it has to do from our nose down to our throat to our lungs mostly. So that is our respiratory system. Remember, with our blood, it was a circulatory system because it went around in a circle, didn't it? Okay. So what I need for you to do first, would you please get out your science book? Pretty please. And turn to page 137. All right, all there? Okay. What helps your lungs to be healthy? Well, the nose and the windpipe were designed with hairs and mucus to help you breathe clean air. Yeah, I know. Ew, gross, mucus. Ugh. I know. But it's there. Yes, we blow our nose to get all that out, but it's also there to collect a lot of the dust particles you don't want into your lungs. Not every, it's rarely we have a really nice clear day sometimes, but there's a lot of other gases in the air. Have you ever seen when the cars are going and you see some of the smoke coming out? That's not good for us at all. In fact, that's carbon monoxide, and we don't want that in our lungs. That's not good to breathe in. It makes our lungs fill up with that junk. It's junk, and it clings to your lungs. Some of the stuff in the air, there's a lot of pollution in the air. And breathing that in is not good for us. Smoking is not good for us. That smoke comes right in and just clings to your lungs, and that's not good. So you really want to take care of your lungs. When you have a cold, we are on you guys all the time to do this. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Now, this is hard to do, isn't it? Because you don't always have a Kleenex in your hot little hand. So what do you need to do? We've been on you guys forever. So when you sneeze or cough, you go like this, not because that doesn't do any good. It just sprays still. You got to put your mouth completely in there. I mean, I even go like this sometimes and cough in your elbow and then go get a Kleenex and clean it up. I don't know, but that's the only way. Okay. And now when you guys come back to school, they're really going to be watching to make sure that we show these good, healthy habits. All right. And always washing your hand. Huge deal. Okay. We all have our antiseptic in our rooms, our hand sanitizers and all that business. All right. Germs are small and they spread everywhere. Okay. A cold makes it hard to breathe. Wash your hands often if you have a cold or around someone who has a cold. And that's just it. You don't want that person's cold, so you want to make sure that they are sneezing like this, and they don't want what you have. So we really have to take care of ourselves. And like I said, now in this day, when we're really having our gloves and our masks and all that on, we really have to be kind to those others and be courteous. Okay, let's turn our pages, please. Healthy lungs. Breathing may be difficult if the tubes or airways in the lungs are not open enough. And we're going to see something in a minute about our tubes in our lungs. And if they're full of gobbledygook, then it's really hard for us to breathe. Asthma makes difficult breathing. And I know I have a couple of boys in my class who really have a hard time. One sometimes stays home because he just can't breathe well. And it says, what are the signs of asthma? Well, a wheezing sound may be heard when you breathe out. It's hard to stop coughing, and breathing is difficult during and after play. And I know sometimes, here it is, sometimes you may have to go into the office and get your little inhaler, and that will help you. That opens up everything. So a lot of times you really got to be careful and know your body that, oh dear, my asthma is coming back, and you got to go to the office and get your little inhaler. Okay. It says, what is in your nose that helps stop dirt from getting in your lungs? Well, tiny little hairs. You've seen that too, huh? What is one part of your body that is protected by washing your hands? Your lungs. You don't want all those germs in your lungs. Oh my gosh. This is kind of what a healthy lung looks like. No, this isn't exactly what a lung looks like. But a nice healthy lung is nice and pink. But if you sit there and a lot of people who smoke or you're around the smoke, your lungs can end up looking like this because all that smoke attaches to your lungs. Ugh. And you don't want that. You don't want these horrible looking lungs because that's just it. All that stuff is attaching to the lungs so much that they can't expand. All right. A healthy lung, when you breathe in air, it gets really big. But if you've got these lungs like this where you've been breathing in horrible bad air, things like that, your lungs are like little black bags and they can't expand as much as you want. And you really want to do that. You really want to take care of yourself really badly. So let's hear what Chloe and the NERB have to say about lungs. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get rid of me.
Kids Health presents How the Body Works with Chloe and the NERB.
And then the gallbladder stands up and finishes my joke. I mean, the gall of that guy.
Hold that thought, NERB. What's this?
5th annual Bodylandia Lung Race. The duo that gets into and then out of the lungs first wins a prize. Prize? A prize, Chloe! Oh my dear heavens, a prize!
If the time on this poster is right, the race is about to start any minute. Yikes! We better get into a running outfit.
A NERB is always ready for a race.
Chloe's too.
To the racetrack.
You. Made it in the nick of time. They're about to start.
Oh.
They're off. Both kidneys are in the lead, followed by the eyeballs and the ears. Chloe and the NERB are in dead last. Chloe, let's pick up the pace, shall we?
This isn't working. And I'm breathing really hard.
You're breathing hard because your body needs more oxygen. Oxygen is in the air we breathe. When you're breathing hard, your lungs can take in more oxygen, and your heart is beating faster to get that oxygen all around your body. In we go!
Do you know where we're going?
Of course, into the respiratory system, and more specifically, the lungs.
Oh.
This is gross, NERB. There are boogers everywhere.
Let's get out of here, Chloe. When you inhale, air comes into your nose or mouth, and then down your windpipe, also called the trachea. At the end of the trachea are 2 large tubes called the bronchi. They lead to 2 large organs responsible for breathing, called lungs. One bronchus goes to the left lung, and the other one to the right. The lungs inhale air with the help from your chest muscles and diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle under the lungs. As you breathe in, your diaphragm contracts and flattens out. This allows it to move down, so your lungs have more room to expand as they fill up with air.
So when you exhale, everything happens in reverse, and the air goes out the way it came in?
Exactly. Here we come!
This is the lungs? NERB, it's just another set of tubes.
The lungs have tons of these smaller and smaller sized tubes called bronchioles, which can be as small as the thickness of a hair. The end should be right after the next one. Here we come!
NERB, where are we?
The alveoli, fancy word. This is where the magic happens, where oxygen from the air we breathe gets absorbed into the blood. Alveoli are tiny air sacs at the end of each bronchiole. There are about 600 million alveoli in the lungs. Each has a mesh-like covering of very small blood vessels called capillaries. Oxygen travels into the blood through the alveoli into the tiny capillaries that surround them.
Fantastic!
Oh, right. We've got a race to win. But before we go, I should explain the process of exhaling. The air you breathe in is different than the air you breathe out. The most important gas in the air is oxygen. Every one of your body cells needs oxygen to stay alive. Deep inside the lungs, your body takes oxygen from the air and delivers it to the bloodstream. Then your heart can pump oxygen-rich blood all around the Then the process operates in reverse, letting your body get rid of a gas called carbon dioxide, which is waste gas the body doesn't need. Carbon dioxide is carried by the bloodstream to the lungs. Then the lungs exhale it out of the body.
Nerb, we're falling further and further behind in the race.
No worries, I'll kick it into Nerve Hyperdrive.
We're doing it. We're winning.
No! We did it! We won! The crowd goes wild! Why is everyone so quiet?
Nerb, we won the race like 45 minutes ago.
Oh,
Oh, Nerb. Nerb. All right. All right. So can you guys pretty please get your little booklet? Okay. Can you get your little booklet out right here? Okay. Can you see it? And go to where it says my lungs and the respiratory system. Okay. You see that? I like this picture. See the picture? See how the lungs are pumping? Kind of cool, huh? And right in the middle of that should be your heart. Pretty neat. All right, well, let's finish. Let's write what we need to on here. Okay, so you got your nose and your mouth, and you breathe in through your nose and your mouth, and it goes down your trachea, right, and goes into your lungs. Here's your diaphragm, which is a muscle that divides your thorax. You know what your thorax is. Remember, head, thorax, abdomen, and it divides your thorax from your abdomen. Okay, so let's read what we have here. Okay, what do we need to fill this out? It says, the air I breathe in goes down my trachea to my lungs. Nice job to your lungs. Let's write lungs on here. Okay. My body needs what from the air to live? Okay, we talked about all the different other stuff in there, all the stuff that's in the air, but what's this? Excuse me. The important oxygen, just told you, the important gas you need is oxygen, okay? So let's write oxygen. It's O-X-Y-G-E-N. My body needs oxygen. Now, what's interesting is we breathe in that oxygen, right? We breathe it all in. Our body takes the oxygen and we breathe out the carbon dioxide. Do you know what wants that carbon dioxide? The plants want the carbon dioxide. So they absorb the carbon dioxide and they let off oxygen. So that's why it's really important that we have our plants and our trees and we keep them up not nicely, but we get them to grow because they also let off oxygen and we need that oxygen, don't we, to breathe. There you go. All right, next. I breathe out a gas called, and I just told you, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Okay. Carbon is C-A-R-B-O-N. Dioxide, D-I-O-X-I-D-E. Carbon dioxide. And we get rid of that. The plants grab onto it. Yay, carbon dioxide. And then they let off oxygen. And then we take that oxygen. It's awesome. Look at the plan God had us do. It's kind of a cycle, isn't it? God had a plan on that. Pretty cool. You know, I like this one. Let me see you. I like this Bible verse on here. From Romans 12:4, for as in one body we have many members, and the members do not all have the same function. Okay, well, every part of our body has something different that it does. Okay, the nose does not smell and hear and, see and hear. Okay, the heart does not just pump the blood, but it also brings in oxygen. None of that. We all need all the different parts of our blood, all the different parts of our body to function well. And sometimes we lose maybe one of the things in our body that can't work anymore. Excuse me. So We need to do that. We need to take care of all of our parts of our body. And it's just like being in a church or being in a Christian group. We're all important to that group. We all have a function in that group. And then we got to remember that we're all part of God's family and we all have a function that we need to be a part of. Okay? All right, kiddos. Well, we will finish up tomorrow and we will have a review and take the test. All right. Well, I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.